check it out. They look pretty good in these awesome clothes I'm wearing. Anyways, we're gonna talk about this game. Beavis and Butthead for the Sega Genesis. Another game from my childhood, which I could not beat when I was a kid. I heard everybody already talked about this game. It's one of the hardest games out there. I'm pretty angry video game nerd that played it. Nearly half of it. And those of you already familiar about the show, it's pretty much about two teenagers that and like to watch all kinds of cool, amazing stuff. This game is plain and simple. They buy money for hardcore or band and get the tickets. The dog pukes it out, and then right when B was about to pick it up, it shatters into many pieces thanks to this guy that looks like Hank Hill from King of the Hill. Your basic goal is to find all the missing pieces of the ticket. You can visit any stage you want. This game is also on Super Nintendo. Even though they play basically the same, except for minor differences about the soundtracks and some of the graphics, which are a little bit different and from each other. The animation to these characters look exactly like in the cartoon. Beavis and Butthead were been around since the early 90s. Use of Comedy Central. And had their own full-length movie called Do America, which I'll get to in the near future. But anyhow, you can either play Beavis or Butthead, and then make sure you buy some weapons and to take on a few enemies on the way and avoid toxic waste dumps. Whether one of the characters, whether Beavis and Butthead die, it game's over. You don't get no continues. It's a basic platforming game, and you have to make sure your friend and stays alive throughout this entirety of the game. There's a password that will make you continue, but sadly it's one of the worst passwords to ever exist in video game history, and because of Beavis's hand is in the way. There are many different several levels, also you have to get far into the game. And once you pretty much enter in the school stage, you have to outrun a big fat guy. And that goes really, really fast. So you have to outrace him and get plenty of health. If you don't, you'll instantly die. And go to hell. This kind of scarred me for life as a kid. And with a game over scream. There's just not much else to say about this game. And that's just plain and simple. You just have to collect all the pieces of the tickets just to enter a concert. That's pretty much all you do. Some people say this game is the worst, and pretty much it's the hardest game out there. And let me just say, ignore that. It's a hot crotch. As I was saying, you can actually select items on some of your Sega Genesis controller and make sure you do it correctly and do it at a restaurant and give the customer a burger with a I can't believe I'm saying this, a dead rat. Which is pretty gross. Oh, but what do I expect from like any classic 90s shows would do something disgusting? I'll give the game some credit. The soundtrack's actually not so bad if it wasn't so Genesis. Is there a word for the? Is there a different word for the word Genesis or genocide? Oh, whatever. You do find like a few bosses in the game. I mean, that's all you do in this game is just do the certain submissions, screw people over with in most places. And I almost forgot to mention that Beavis and Butthead are not the brightest of the group. If those of you who watch the show, they just want to get laid by hot ladies. And they like to say their catchphrase. We're going into score, Butthead. Or my favorite line is how Butthead, the blonde-haired one, says, "I'm not my team from my bunghole." Okay, I can't say it right, but it's been a long time since I watched the show and most likely the movie. Some people will say this is the worst game out there. And yes, it's true. Oh, because it's hard as heck. I find this game to be on the okay side. Sure, it's tough. Sure, you have to try your best to not die. And you have to make sure you get all the way to the very end. By the way, this ending kind of sucks. Because it just shows some tall, rockin' dancers that just jiggle around and see Beavis and Butthead dress up as cool guys. That's pretty much your reward to this game's ending. The Super Nintendo might have done a little better and just keep on repeating the same animation over and over again, but yeah. So I get this game being a below average one, and I would say it is kind of a bad game. Those of you who agree or disagree with me, I give this game a below grading of 5 out of 10. Since it's a below average game, the animation is okay, I guess, but and you would seen a little bit better graphics than the show does, and let's stick with the PC one, which there is one. So, I'll see you guys when I talk about another game based off a TV show or a movie. Thanks for watching. Adios, amigos.